Welcome to St. Augustine this evening, the Mike Davis Show. It'll be a very uncommon ground episode today. We have all kinds of things to argue about. We know how much you guys love to watch us get animated in the studio, so I'll throw out a word that triggers somebody before the show's over.
Quit it.
That's not it. That's not the word.
Too soon.
Too soon. We have a whole bunch of guests already. Michael Allen Davis, you can stop that right now.
Yes, that's where I was going. You knew where I was going.
I knew where you were going. I knew. However, you don't say it with the same tone and inflection that my mom did, so I really don't listen to you.
Or the fear.
No, I have no fear of you, sir. None. All right, let's get some ads done. Let's get the fun going. Let's start the weekend. It's Thursday. It's weekend eve, so let's get this rocking and rolling for you guys. Salomon Services, it's the premier place for personal training in St. Augustine. They've got all kinds of classes for both youths and adults. They've got small group strength and fitness development classes. They can help you with speed and agility development. If you've been injured, they can get you back on the court or the field in better shape so you'll be able to perform at a higher level. They have a state-of-the-art center with both indoor and outdoor turf areas, and all of their coaches are certified through the National Strength and Conditioning Association. So give them a call today, 904-461-9945. Go sign up. Like, it's well past the time for you to get in shape if you are going to get in shape. And no, Troy Blevins, round is not a shape that they have at Salomon Services.
That's where you start.
I know, but it's not where you end up if you go there.
That's where you start.
All right, the Tringali family wants to have dinner with you. Head over to Carmelo's Pizza. They are locally owned and operated, voted best pizza 9 years in a row. They've got New York-style brick oven pizza. They also serve salads, subs, wings, and more. Or you can join them at the 123 Burger House. They were voted best burger 3 years running. They've got burgers, wings, salads, chicken, authentic wood-fired pizza, and ice cream for dessert. Both restaurants offer dine-in, takeout, and delivery through Bite Squad and Grubhub. The Tringali family wants to share dinner with you, so join them tonight. We also have Solar Stick. They were established in 2006. Solar Stick is a local portable power company proudly committed to American manufacturing, constant innovation, and creating jobs right here in St. Augustine, Florida. Solar Stick's focus on providing solutions for self-sufficiency helps users all over the world complete missions and save lives. Solar Stick, changing lives, saving lives, and reviving American manufacturing.
And Land Title of America, whether you realize it or not, when you buy or sell or refinance the purchase of a home, there's a title company involved. Don't get stuck with some out-of-town title company who doesn't give a crap when you're faced with challenges. Stay local. Choose Land Title of America. Just call or text Stephen Collins, 904-501-4481. He specializes in all types of real estate transactions. Land Title, your local title company, ensuring America's land one title at a time because
they give a crap.
Yes, they do. Blake's still not allowed to cuss?
He chooses not to.
Is there still a swear jar at your house?
If there was, Rebecca would be broke.
Ooh, ratting out your girl.
Too many hitting comments on the morning show streams.
All right, we do have a couple of things coming up. March 16th, Neil Berg's 50 Years of Rock and Roll is at 7:30 p.m. at the Lewis Auditorium at Flagler College. Tickets are $35 for adults, $5 for youths or students. Tickets included free parking at the St. Johns County COA with complimentary shuttle to and from the venue. Great groups. This is part of Emma's Concert Association, and this is part of the Bozard Ford Community Update.
Yes.
We have a Bozard Ford Community Update. Did you know that, Troy Blevins?
I don't have one. Yeah, you guys are so special.
Yes, Task Force Hydro 1's luau is also May 11th. You can go to their website, Task Force Hydro 1, the number 1, and you can check out and sign up. I will be there. Amanda will be there.
Yay!
Yep. Louie will be there. Darcy will be there. It's going to be a great time. Nothing today. This is an entire week on the Jackie Hurd calendar that has nothing. TPC is going on, and Zander Schauffele.
Softly.
She looks like souffle.
He's tied with Rory.
He's tied with Rory. Do you know what they are?
7 under.
God, it's so good to work with somebody who knows sports again. Oh, I feel so much better.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know sports.
Yeah, but there's also a bike show down at the car museum for the Women's Refuge, and they do great work here in town. And so if you get a chance and you want to see some really amazing motorcycles, and they have hamburgers and hot dogs and all that, and just an amazing bike show.
And Jimmy Jam, March 23rd.
Oh, the bourbon one.
The bourbon and
one.
barbecue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Two of my favorite things. Just like Troy and Amanda. Two of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Oh, we made the cut.
Yeah. You're bourbon because he likes
Sorry,
bourbon
Davey,
better.
you weren't here. Davey, I'm sorry. Yeah.
You can be bourbon with me, Davey.
Yeah. Shared bourbon.
Yep.
Yes. Hey, also, that's all the updates I have. And I mean, news. We did do a State of the Union bingo. Did anybody win last week? I know who lost.
The list is not here, and Blake, you're the only one who got to see it because
So I've got it on picture.
I know who lost.
me,
The American people. That's who lost.
all of us.
All of us lost. I'm here to tell you, after watching that garbage, all of us lost.
How long was it?
Too long.
It
No.
was an hour and a half.
I thought it was 63 minutes.
It was an
65
hour
minutes.
and a half.
Thank
No.
It's an hour and a half if you from start to finish because of applause. So the speaking, if you're just doing speaking, then it was less than that. So Blake, how much was the speaking part?
1 hour and 5 minutes.
So as a Biden fan, supporter, diehard you are,
I don't know if he's a Biden
He's
fan.
so cringe right now.
He's just not. He's just not a Republican.
as somebody who could critique the speech a little less biased than Amanda and myself, how did you think it went?
He did better than me.
There's a bar.
You're saying for a stutterer, he did pretty good.
Yes.
Okay, that's where he was going with that.
So there was a montage put together. We talked about it earlier in this week on the show, where apparently he's given the same speech. So there are multiple things that he has asked for in 22, 23, and 24. So there's multiple times he's asked for the same thing. So it was really kind of scary. Because I'm like, well, this won't be that long. I mean, you get things knocked off the list. If I have a list from 2022, the majority of the shit that was on that list has been crossed off.
Yeah.
Apparently with Congress and the president, not so much.
Yeah, I know, like building a wall.
It was in the process.
Sure it was. All right.
Hey, I'll tell you one
11
thing.
miles of it. Come on.
I'll tell you the one thing. The last guy never tore down a good wall. This one did.
Yes, this one
This
did.
one did. And, well, if you would like to ask about the repercussions of that, just walk outside.
Ask Texas.
No, just walk outside and look for an illegal.
What?
So they didn't build a wall here. They didn't tear down a wall here, Mike. I
Well,
don't know
there
that-
is. DeSantis is worried about Haiti. So
yeah.
Haiti has devolved into just chaos. The guy running Haiti.
Haiti's always been chaos.
No.
It's like the worst third world country on this side of the world.
I think it's a fourth world country. I don't even think it qualifies as a third world.
They didn't even make
It's
the
a
cut.
fourth world country, right? So do you know the nickname of the guy, the largest gang in Haiti right now, who's basically probably running the country?
Sinbad.
You've not, Blake, come on, you got to know this guy's name. You don't know.
I
Does
don't,
nobody read news of stuff that could affect us in Florida besides me?
Pepe?
I'm here so that I can learn from you, Mike. Teach me. Obi-Wan.
Barbecue.
Barbecue.
Apparently, when he was working for the police, he burned down an entire neighborhood, and he got the nickname Barbecue.
Well, that's not his name. That's his nickname.
He swears that is because, well, it's not corn pop, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
He swears that
Carlos
it's because his mom had a street vendor thing and she cooked and he helped her cook. I'm like, I really think it's probably burning
probably
down
'cause you burned down the neighborhood.
You burned down the neighborhood. And
You burn down a neighborhood, it's probably more likely that that's where it came from.
That's going to stick. That
yeah.
one's going to stick.
That was,
And I think Haiti shows that a lot of people don't read there because, anywhere else he might have been called Nero, but no, they went with barbecue.
yeah. So,
Barbecue.
no, Haiti's always been a shit show. It
Have
really
you
is.
been to Haiti?
No, I'm just.
Do you want to go to Haiti?
No.
I've been to Dominican Republic. I've been on the other side of the
I
island.
dated a girl who was from Haiti in college.
Okay.
And she's like, it's horrible. She says it's just horrible. But this was in the 80s, and that's 40 years ago.
Yes. So it's only devolved from there.
I don't think it's got any better.
No.
So
The headline I saw about Haiti this week is that they're cannibalistic gangs. Is that a thing?
how would you like to sit on the TDC board of Haiti? Come to Haiti. We'll kill you some of the time.
We'll kill you some of the time. We'll kidnap you and ransom you most of the time.
We'll harvest only part of your body parts.
God.
We'll only take one kidney. We'll send you home with one.
no.
You'll be fine.
That's Mexico.
But don't, hey,
We're all
don't
canceled.
eat the ice around you.
Don't.
Would you ever go to Haiti, Blake?
No.
Got it. You're smart, very intelligent.
Yeah.
I know
That's a
a
little bar.
lady that has started a preschool in Haiti, and she travels to the preschool frequently, and she is rather conspicuous in the country. We'll just say that. So she doesn't mention that she's going on a trip until long after she's home.
That's probably the way to do that.
Yeah.
No, I mean everything I've heard, and it sits on a beautiful island.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, with no trees left on it.
Yeah.
A bunch of people that are starving and hungry. Cannibalism may or may not be the thing. And the guy in charge
but the
is
other half's
nicknamed
doing
Barbecue.
Yeah, but the other half's doing good.
Don't forget about earthquakes
Yeah.
and don't,
Earthquakes.
hurricanes.
Yeah. What happened to all that money that the Clintons took down there to fix it? Never
They
mind.
gave
Never mind.
They
Never
gave it to
mind.
their family members, and they didn't do anything with it.
It funneled through Epstein Island.
Okay.
It never made it.
Didn't,
For
wrong
sure that
island.
happened.
Wrong
Yeah.
island.
We spent it all there.
Oh, man.
Wasn't it the brother-in-law that got it? Wasn't he supposed to be the construction guy?
I don't know.
I just know there are Haitians that are always out front of the Clinton's offices.
I think they might have went
protesting.
rafting with it.
Yeah.
Something about whitewater.
No, that was a different thing. That was one of
Good
Hillary's.
bull.
stupid-
That was a good bull.
Both of you had that bewildered look like,
No, I got
was
it.
like,
I got
what?
it. I was like, you went that far back? You
Yeah.
denied the whole thing happened in the 90s, and now you bring it up all
I
these
didn't
years later.
deny that.
Yes, you did. That never happened.
You
He
still
was
believed
innocent of everything.
in the 90s. You still believe politicians were going to be honest, and now look who you're voting for.
I just believe some of them were going to be. I was mistaken.
You were so
I was
optimistic.
What
wrong.
you've done is convinced him that you were right, and so he's just resigned himself.
Yes, might as well just go all in.
Now I just want the
Just push
best.
the chips in.
Now I just want the best liar.
Yeah, the best.
So there.
You
the,
what?
The liar that works best for you.
That's right. The liar that
yeah.
works best
That's
for
probably
me.
not a bad strategy.
Yes.
If
Yeah.
you'd have started selling me on that years ago,
Yeah.
I might be
Well,
with you.
It's actually your strategy just rewritten because I'm going to do what's best for my family, who I believe is your voting strategy.
That was 100% my voting strategy.
So, Blake, more or less likely to vote for Biden after watching the speech.
He
Didn't
was going
matter.
to vote for him anyway.
Didn't change anyway.
Didn't change anything.
All right,
So as
but
long as they didn't change his diaper on air, you were fine with the speech.
It depends.
yes. But
Softballs.
Yes,
Softballs. today.
softballs. I know.
It's not nice to call Biden softballs.
Wow, this show's getting good.
Sweet cherry.
all right,
All right, so the State of the Union speech, how did we do? We had a bunch of guesses on here.
I didn't see any of it. I was trying to do my community service.
where were you that night?
I was sitting on the porch talking, trying to mentor somebody.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
Yeah.
I watched the first hour, and I tapped out at that point. And at that point, we had crossed out, let's see, Creepy Whisper. He made a
That
reference
was
to
mine, right?
It was either yours or mine. I can't remember. Did you write them down?
You had Baloney Malarkey, reference to Bo, Amtrak, and Come On Man.
All right. So he did make a reference to Bo in that first hour. I believe Shrinkflation was yours. He did reference that.
Yep.
Father reference he referenced, and he did the Creepy Whisper. So that was in the first hour.
So it got reference to Father. So I got 3 of my 4. Watch Me is the one I didn't get.
you know what's scary?
Yes.
Is how well you know Biden.
I know. If you watch some Rumble stuff, you watch some TikToks, you watch some stuff on Threads, you can find out some
Threads.
things.
The greatest app.
Blake had wheelchair stand up. Doesn't say.
State of the Union
State of the
strong. He
Union.
did.
You
He
had,
said it was strong, yeah.
yeah. You had Dark Brandon. I didn't really see Dark Brandon. I did feel like I was a small child whose ball had wandered into an old man's yard.
Yeah.
He was yelling at me to get off his yard the entire time.
It's like in the Sandlot, the beast.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
beast was going to get you.
Well, the
No, it
old
wasn't
man
the beast.
never
The
yelled.
beast was much nicer. Biden was just yelling the whole time. Doesn't shake Mike Johnson's hand. Did he shake Mike Johnson's hand?
I believe he did. Maybe.
What the video I saw started after the handshakes, but I can silently scroll to check if he did at the end.
All right, so I don't think he got. So you got 1. Amanda or Troy had. You know what I'm saying? Did he say? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he did. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I don't think he did. Jill is a teacher. Did he reference Jill? Dr. Jill is a teacher.
No, I expected him to do that when he was talking about education or Uvalde when they visited, and he didn't. In that first hour, he didn't.
You betcha. You bet you. Nope. And strong military.
I was so mad because he said it's not a joke, and I was like, "Why? I say that all the time. Why didn't I say that?" But he definitely said it's not a joke.
You had Come On Man, Baloney or Malarkey, reference to Bo, which you got, and Amtrak. How did he miss Amtrak in the speech? He always talks about Amtrak.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys collectively got 2. I got 3.
Okay.
I got a quit.
Goose egg
I
for
got to
me.
quit watching Biden.
Who's egg for you?
I know he's your
I
dude.
think I got a goose egg too. So, and I'm okay with it. Or did I get one?
No, but you got.
You got one, Blake.
You said he doesn't say State of the Union. He did say State of the.
He did.
It's strong. Yeah.
So
he's-
yeah, you did
Yeah,
get
it was the
say
opposite.
strong.
It was
So it's
opposite,
really
yeah.
it's Amanda had one reference to
Yay.
Bo.
But he didn't
And I
say
got
anything
the
about a
other
strong
3.
military.
No, I didn't say anything
No.
about
I'm
that.
surprised he didn't say we have the strongest military because, and recognize.
And I expected that
military.
when he was talking about Russia, Ukraine, but he really didn't talk about the military.
Wow.
So the other one that he did not.
He didn't talk about ours anyway.
He didn't talk about abortion.
No,
Not
he did.
What? No, he did not mention abortion by name.
He said
mentioned-
women's right to choose.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
what was really interesting is that when he was saying that we need to make Roe v. Wade the law of the land, his example for that was IVF treatment. Roe v. Wade is going to ensure IVF treatment is available. That is the stretch of the century. That
you know
is
what that
stretch
is?
Armstrong
I don't know what
level.
IVF
Hang on. Do you know what that is?
I don't know
That's-
what IVF
He
is.
did shake. He did shake both hands.
That is the forced fertilization of babies, like the in vitro fertilization.
In vitro fertilization. So they harvest eggs from the female, or eggs harvested from a female are in a lab situation introduced to semen from a male, and then the embryos that result from that, if there are any, are implanted into a willing and ready uterus. So I'm assuming that pull is because some people are saying, okay, so you make a whole bunch of embryos, right? Like you pull as many eggs, you harvest as many eggs as possible, you fertilize as many as possible, and then you freeze them. And then parents request a certain number implanted per round. And if you have a lot of money, you might only request a couple per round, so you can do more rounds because you can afford it. If you can't, that's how you get those 5 and 6 babies, because
octomoms.
they put all of the embryos in one basket, if you will. But there are a lot of people that just leave these embryos frozen. And so there's an argument about, okay, if life begins at conception, these are embryos, conception has occurred, this is a life, how do you treat the unwanted embryos? And so I believe there are some laws trying to limit the amount of embryos that you can create, or requiring all embryos created to be implanted. And so that would be more expensive. I believe that's what he's referencing there, because technically that is, if you destroy those embryos, that is a form of abortion, because you have ended a life if you believe that life begins at conception. And so I believe that's what he's referencing, but that is just astronomical, like Cirque du Soleil levels of stretch.
Mike and I have always stayed away from this topic because we're never going to agree. So I believe.
Well, we're not arguing the topic.
No,
we're
no,
just
no, no, no,
arguing
no.
the fact that
But-
that's the example he used.
You just
for
looked
the-
perplexed.
No,
when we
I didn't
mentioned
know
that.
what that. I didn't know what
and I'm just trying to answer that without going deeper into that
I
subject.
didn't know what
so.
the intro was.
No, Bobby had the comment of the day. Ask the Octomom.
That's what I said. That's how we ended
Yeah.
up with Octomom.
Yeah.
I think it's you never know. One of the best jokes I saw about the speech, a comedian said that when Biden started talking, he put on closed caption, and closed caption said, "Take your best guess."
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't
There was a
know.
lot
That's
of
what I
there was
thought
a lot of stumbling over
It's
his
just
speech.
that emoji that goes.
Here? Yeah. There was a lot of stumbling over his words. Not as much as I would have expected, but there were. There was a lot of coughing, and I was surprised by the amount of heckling. So he kind of started it, though, because he started doing these like ask and callback things. Is this what we want? And then the Democrats yell back, either yes or no. Like he did that, and that was surprising to me. I've never seen a president like do ask and respond with the audience.
The last president
at
did
the
that
State
every
of the Union.
speech.
At the State of the Union, though.
Yes, he
I
did.
don't
Every
remember.
speech.
I don't remember that. So
He probably started it, and Brian's like, "Oh, that worked."
well, I don't.
Or his people said, "Oh, that worked for him." And
I
that's-
don't love the sound of Donald Trump's voice, so
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of the State of the Unions
Yeah.
when Donald Trump gave them. I would just read the speeches,
Yeah.
and you missed that in
can
the
tell you,
transcripts.
I saw a little bit of the highlights. He looked awake.
In the highlights, he did.
Yeah, but I mean, he for some of the other stuff that I've seen,
Mm-hmm.
it's just he looked like they pumped him up like he took a nap.
Oh, they did.
He took a nap before this one.
Oh yeah,
For 3 days.
Yeah. He went.
he was as clear-headed as I've seen him in a long time.
Yeah.
But he's
The Ambien kicked
still.
in. The Ambien kicked in or something. I mean, he looked very alert
Yeah.
for other things that I've seen him doing.
Yeah.
So.
I would say that that's what I thought. He looked the most alert I've seen him in a long time, but he was still like fumbling over words.
I watched a minute and a half. It's a minute and a half that I lived in hell.
Did you watch more of the Oscars or that?
I watched a minute and a half of that. I watched 0 of the Oscars.
I would have
I didn't know the
rather have
Oscars
watched
were
the
on.
Oscars than
Remember
to
we
watch
used to
that.
do it. Remember we used to do an Oscar show.
Davey did a whole report on Tuesday. I encourage you to go back and watch Tuesday's show.
Yeah.
I could have cared. In fact, he mentioned the one movie, Poor Things, or
Poor things. Yep.
Emma Stone won an Oscar, and I.
Which her
Wednesday-
reaction is hilarious when they name her name.
Well,
She's so shocked.
Wednesday I turned it on,
Yeah.
a trailer on
Poor
TV to
Things.
watch it, and I was like, Davey undersold how weird and creepy it was. I was like, I
He
would
said
could
it
not
probably
do that.
wasn't
I can tell you
thing.
this. I did hear Robert Downey
Junior.
won.
Yes, he did. For
And
Oppenheimer.
I can tell you, great. Did you see Oppenheimer?
Not yet.
Okay, he was a great villain in it, and he was the politician, obviously.
Clearly.
But just he was. It was the best role I've ever seen him, and I like Robert Downey Jr. anyway. But I thought that was a good.
His best
Did you
role
see-
ever that he did not receive a nomination for was Back to School.
Back to
He
school.
was in Back to School. It was like his big
It's a
break.
classic.
And he just never got the credit for the role. He really dove into the jerk
The
college kid
Academy
well.
just snubs.
Yeah, well,
Congress.
that was his role early on in life. There was another one, one of the ones where he was in the mall and he was like the bully in the mall. I can't remember. He was in Weird Science or something like that. He was
Was he in Weird Science?
He
might
was
have been.
not in Weird Science.
he was a bully in a mall at one of those
IMDb.
brat pack things from the late '80s.
I don't remember. It wasn't Fast Times at Ridgemont High because he did not have an appearance there. Yeah, I don't know which one.
Yeah.
And it wasn't 16 Candles. I'm pretty sure he wasn't in that one either.
Well, so what annoyed me is that Jimmy Kimmel pulls up his history is his addiction history. And like we're so past that. We're decades past him being
Robert Downey.
through that. Yes. He made a Robert Downey
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Almighty Jimmy Kimmel.
Yes.
Who was on, what was that? The Man Show.
The Man
in
Show.
blackface.
Women bouncing on trampolines
Yes.
was their best feature.
And he said-
he's being all high and mighty. Screw you, Kimmel.
He had a joke. It was Robert Downey Jr.'s one of the highs of Robert Downey Jr.'s, but not the highest moment. Am I right? And Robert Downey Jr.'s is like a little on the nose, and Jimmy Kimmel's like, "What are you telling me? I'm on the nose, or is that a drug motion?" And Robert Downey Jr.'s like, "Move on," and everyone in the audience is just kind of
Well, yeah,
groaning. And
you're
I'm
like-
like, seriously, that's what we're doing right now?
The best joke about the Oscars was Gutfeld this week. He said, once again it proves, and he showed all the winners, that Hollywood gives this thing about diversity, and it's all white people that win. Right? It's all white people that won the awards.
Oscars so white.
He said, but thank goodness they had a black host. And then it showed a picture of Jimmy Kimmel in blackface as Karl Malone.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, that's good. That's really, really good.
As Karl Malone.
As Karl
Karl
Malone.
Malone.
Because they used to pick on Karl Malone.
all
Well,
the
Karl
time.
Malone deserves to be picked on.
Yes.
Well, they-
He's a horrible human being.
I get it, but they grilled him.
I
Karl-
don't know anything about Karl
No,
Malone.
he's a pedophile.
No,
Okay.
don't.
So-
Well, I don't think you get to be. I don't think it's appropriate the way Jimmy Kimmel. Right? If you're
No.
doing jokes about Karl Malone,
you still can't do blackface.
yeah, you can't do that.
What's the comedian who
Andrew
says?
Schultz,
What's
blackface on a helicopter,
It's
and
bad.
all the
It's
military
bad.
ads, right? It's
Yeah.
bad.
We're
But-
Navy SEAls.
Yes, it's one of the best. If you want to laugh, it's one of the best blackface skits, jokes. It's really, really good. Andrew Schultz.
Yeah. No.
Really
Andrew Schultz is wild.
It is funny.
Now.
Yeah.
I've seen him do some interviews, but it's really fun. Speaking of interviews that went badly,
Uh-oh.
Don Lemon.
Don Lemon.
Don Lemon was supposed to have a deal on X. His first interview was going to be Elon Musk.
Okay.
He interviewed Elon Musk. After the interview, Elon Musk canceled his contract with X. How bad did the interview have to be?
Wow.
He was
To
in
get
Weird
canceled.
Science.
Huh? It was a Weird Science.
So I don't know what character he played. Ian in Weird Science.
He was like the preppy brat who was always picking on the nerd
On the
kids.
nerdy kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in that period of time, he was in Girls Just Want to Have Fun, Punky Party Crasher. He was in Tough Turf, Weird Science, Deadweight, Mussolini's, and then he went into Saturday Night Live and Back to School.
Back to School is great. He deserved an Oscar.
Yeah. He's the kid everyone wanted to punch in Weird Science.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only guy that kind of overshadowed him in that movie was Sam, what was his name? The Screamer.
Kennison.
Sam Kennison overshadowed Robert Downey Jr. in that one. Say it! It's just awesome. Okay. So any comments? Don Lemon gets canceled,
Well,
but Elon Musk is going to let the interview air, right? He's going to let Don Lemon post anything he wants to. He just said, we've ended our association with him. We're not going to partner with him, and we're not going to pay him. To which Don Lemon immediately said, we got a contract and I want to get paid. So
You would think he would have watched his reels. I mean, best of on, what was he, MSNBC, CNN?
CNN.
Best of a CNN. Like, make your determination from that. You don't, like, that's a weird call.
yes.
You sign a contract, then let him interview you, and then you're like, oh, you
sometimes-
suck at this.
and
Okay, never
sometimes
mind.
it takes you to be face to face to see the reality
All
of
right.
it. So
Maybe he was just hoping he'd be different.
Yeah.
But apparently there was no.
he didn't learn his lesson. I
He
guess.
didn't learn his lesson.
Yeah.
And and if the guy owns the platform, you just cut a deal with him, he's writing you a check.
Yeah.
You figured you'd be like, I really don't want to piss this guy off.
Yeah. I need the job.
Yeah, I could use the money in the job.
Yeah.
Melissa, yes, Bill Paxton was in Weird Science.
Yes,
he
he
was
was.
Chet,
Chet.
the evil brother.
Chet, who got frozen.
He
You
got me
froze Grandma and Grandpa. They turned him into a big turd, I
They
think.
turned him into
Yeah.
a big turd. Yes, they did. Yes.
Yeah. So.
Ahead of its time. Because now, apparently in Japan, there's a cartoon where the superhero is a big turd.
Great.
Yeah, in Japanese.
I heard it stinks.
Japanese,
Oh, Japan.
it's not what it used to be.
Yeah.
It's not back in the day when it
not
was Speed
Godzilla.
Racer. It's not like when it was Speed Racer and it was good stuff.
It's not Godzilla. So
Yeah.
you want to fight?
Yes.
You fight me.
You're excellent at that. I'll
Yes.
say.
He is really good. He's had a lot of practice in bars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really confuses the guy you're fighting.
Yeah. I bet it does.
South by Southwest. You guys know what South by Southwest
Yes.
is?
It's a film thing, right? Or
It's a
It's a
film
music
and
festival.
music festival.
yeah.
So it's back. The last one was
19?
19. We were there in March of 20, right before all this craziness happened, and it got canceled. So it's back. They have all these groups that show up. Austin's packed with all these performers. But dozens of artists and bands have said, we're not playing. Because the U.S. Army is sponsoring South by Southwest. So these bands are
Know
saying,
your audience, South by Southwest.
we're out. Okay? Well, it's Austin, so it is it's probably the most
Very-
liberal
very
audience
liberal.
you're going to find
Yeah.
in Texas.
It's definitely
Yeah.
the most
Right.
in Texas.
Definitely
Yes.
the most in Texas.
So there's a lot of back and forth between the artists, between Governor Abbott, who basically said, if you don't come to South by Southwest, don't come back to Texas. Right? Which I'm like, okay.
Well, that's their opinion.
He's the
He
thing.
needs to stay out of that.
So rarely when I read a story do I find a hero that I did not expect. And in this story, the hero that I find...
The Dixie Chicks.
Mark Cuban.
Too soon?
Man, I can't wait till best guess because you guys are stealing all kinds of garbage, right? Very good, very good. Well done. South by Southwest, the spokesperson or PR person. So when I read to you the comments and the quotes, you're like, this person's brilliant because they managed to say everything they wanted to say without alienating or ticking off anybody.
Okay.
Right? So South by Southwest must disinvite Raytheon. That was the comment by some of the bands, right? So there are many ways South by Southwest are working musicians, blah, 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 blah. Give me a second.
So they don't support these artists don't support the U.S. Army.
They do not. They
Evidently.
over the war in the Middle East, over the Israel-Hamas war. So they want all the Army gone. They want Raytheon gone. They want all these companies gone, right? Greg Abbott, bye, don't come back. Austin remains the HQ for Army Futures Command. San Antonio is a military city. We're proud. The U.S. military in Texas. If you don't like it, don't come back, right? South by Southwest later released their own statement emphasizing it does not agree with Governor Abbott and welcomes diverse viewpoints, including performers choosing to withdraw from the event. These institutions are often leaders in emerging technology, and we believe it's better to understand how their approach will impact our lives. The Army sponsorship is part of our commitment to bring forward ideas that shape our world. It concluded, we have and will continue to support human rights for all. The situation in the Middle East is tragic, and it illuminates the highlighted importance of standing together against injustice. So South by Southwest writes, hey, we don't want anybody to be mad. You got the right. The governor's got the right to be mad at you. You have the right to not be here. The people that sponsored have the right to be here as well. And we're just going to have a music festival.
You know what this was? This is gentle parenting for an entire crowd of people.
Yeah.
Like,
That's awesome.
your feelings are valid.
Do you have a list?
Your feelings
You have
are
a
valid.
list of some of the groups that pulled out.
Do you want to know who?
Yeah, I'd like to know. I mean, they're probably like
Give it to us, Blake.
They're probably
No.
like F-list people anyway.
Yes.
They're probably guys that are living in a van
Down by the river.
down by the river.
Down by the river in a
Yeah.
van. Yes.
Fat man in a
God
little
rest
coat.
Chris Rock. Yeah.
But I mean, I'd like to know who they are. I mean, if their voices are somebody that I know, I don't know if I would know any of them. Mm-hmm. So
see.
I'd just be interested to see if it's somebody of any significance that's like,
I'm pulling up a
they make an
list.
impact in, like if U2 does something, it makes an impact.
Yes.
Yeah.
If Jiminy Cricket and the banjos,
I've got
Jiminy
a
who?
list.
yeah, exactly.
I've got a list from BBC. Rachel Chinori.
Nope. I wonder if I'll run into a name that I might even know.
And then, so she was one: Kneecap, Labrini Girls, Sprints, Scowl, Gel, OK Salem, or OK Shalom, Squirrel Flower. That's an interesting name to. Okay, Squirrel
To boycott,
Flower.
yeah.
Yeah.
Might
They
want to
haven't
change
opted
that
out. Do you know where Shalom comes from?
name. No, probably not.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me that they're pulling out over the Middle East right now. Like our military's not in the Middle East fighting this war. You would think they would be angry about them being somewhere else, like maybe
We are sending
National Guard at
arms.
the border. Like I would imagine they would be angry about that. But that's a weird one for them to be mad at the military about, since we're not fighting that conflict.
It is, but we're funding it, according to them.
Well, but that's not the Army.
It is the Army's sending arms.
It's not the Army's budget. It's
I get
it's
you.
Biden.
And
Be
they have
mad
the
at Biden.
They have a right to not get a paycheck. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
I'm sure their bagging job at Publix is doing well.
Yes.
Because it sounds to me like none of them are people with major contracts.
So you have to wonder, do they just go, the only way we'll get any attention at this event is if we don't show up?
Get our
don't
name
show
on
up.
that
Yeah,
list.
let's get on the list that someone
'Cause
will
they-
read, because they're not going to, there's 2,000 bands or something
Yeah, I was
playing
going
at
to
this
say
thing.
they're on stage 26.
Yes.
There's 18 people standing there.
Yeah. That's like a Biden audience.
Yeah, it's like the campaign trail. So,
That's a huge audience for Joe Biden.
well, I mean, what do you think about Aaron Rodgers being the vice president?
Well, Barbara Jean is against it for
Well,
obvious reasons.
See,
Don't worry, Barbara Jean, you're used to losing
you
to
got
him.
that joke because you know sports. I didn't get that joke.
But Barbara Jean, she should be used to losing to Aaron Rodgers.
I thought it was very interesting. I certainly hope that RFK Jr. Finds somebody as a running mate. Aaron Rodgers would be a terrible running mate. He'll be busy during
I think
the
it'd be
entire
great. Our insurance will go down.
Time. Yeah. Is he on State Farm?
Yeah, discount, double check.
Okay. All right. Got it. Are they a sponsor of Bolix yet?
No,
They should be.
Should be.
They should be.
Everybody needs an insurance
Yes.
sponsor.
That's why we have Brightway Insurance.
You have
That
Brightway.
We have
is,
Brightway.
yeah.
They're a phenomenal insurance sponsor. So, no, I don't think. I hope it's not Aaron Rodgers. I hope he picks somebody that's decent. But I think a lot of people are getting boxed out. They're being told, "Hey, if you join up with him, you're done."
Jesse the Body. That's the other one. That's the other one.
I didn't know
That's an
Jesse the Body
interesting
was still
poll.
alive till he was name floated
Isn't
out.
he in
Look
Mexico?
at who's running for president.
Isn't
How
he
are
in
those guys
Mexico?
still alive?
Yeah.
Isn't he in Mexico?
Yeah, he gave a kidney or two. So,
Well, he's paid the toll.
He's paid the toll. He can do what he wants to do. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Anything else in the world? Blake, you got anything that's annoying you that you want to talk about?
Other than us.
What's your thoughts on Florida State losing state to North Carolina?
I thought we were going to lose by 30, and we lost by close to 30. North Carolina might win the whole thing. They're one of the few teams that have a shot. Florida State never really gelled this year. I think Leonard Hamilton has maybe 1 year left on his contract. So the question is, are they going to end it? They would get somebody else in there.
Go back to Miami.
He had a really, really good run, but he's like 76, 70. He's almost as old as the president.
He's still got a good.
That joke is going to just keep on
He's still
going
got a
for the
good
next
10
5
years.
years. Yeah, he's still got another 10. So I don't know where he fits in, but I think he's kind of ended his run at Florida State. He's recruited some amazing athletes. I did watch Nick Saban talking about the red flag yesterday, right? Why he finally gave up on coaching. I don't know if have you watched that interview?
He was in front of the Senate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was in front of the Senate, and he basically was talking about his wife, and like it's all about the money now,
Yes.
and not about building the character of the man.
Yes.
And that's the part him and his wife enjoyed the most, and he said it just stole the life from him.
Yeah.
I'm not a Nick Saban fan, but I loved what he said.
I thought what he said was spot on.
Yeah.
Right. I first of all, I've said for a long time, I think these players need to get paid. The way they're going to get paid now is going to just ruin college football. These major conferences becoming bigger and bigger is going to ruin. There was a story I read the other day where the Big Ten and the SEC are basically going to tell the NCAA bye-bye.
Yeah, they're going to be like
They're gonna
be like Live Golf. They're just going to be at a different level of pay scale.
By the way, Live Golf, Donald Trump was right. Because he told all the players in the PGA, they're going to merge. You better go over to Live Golf, get your paycheck.
Yeah, but the last time he said something about merging, the whole company fell apart.
I knew you'd bring up the USFL, but this time he was right. And the guys that went over there, because you said it the other day on the morning show,
Should have taken the money.
they should have taken the money.
Should have taken the money.
So you agreed with Trump.
Poor Rory. I mean, Rory. I mean, and poor Rory. He's still making $30 million a year.
He's still poor
know,
Rory.
Yeah.
I would cry into my $1 million bill.
Yeah, as you're wiping your tears with hundreds.
Yeah.
A guy like Mickelson, who's, I mean, we're talking about golf today on Bollocks, but a guy like Mickelson, who, at the end of his career, he was guaranteed $100 million. He wasn't going to make that on the PGA Tour again.
No, he was done making that kind of money on the PGA Tour.
Huh? $200 million.
$200 million.
Yeah. Well, I think $200 million is over $100 million.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
He was being more
You know,
specific.
even when you help him, sometimes he doesn't want it, right? Troy, don't swim deeper into trouble. No, I got this.
Well, am I wrong?
Just throw me a
You
30-pound weight.
You are correct.
Over $100 million.
Like, I'm on your side on this one.
Best guess.
You
rules.
tried to help
You got
him,
it.
and you know what you
It is
got?
over.
You got made fun of. That's just disrespectful.
I know.
It's just disrespectful. You should feel horrible.
I do. I feel terrible. Sorry, Blake. Love you, buddy.
It's fine. I'm only just here watching basketball right now.
He's like, it's more entertaining.
Well.
Hey! The first 3 of my legs already hit today.
Oh, he's got a parlay going. All right.
All right.
Well, guess what? You're going to have to shut that computer down because we are ready to start, right?
You're ready to start. We're going to do a little bit of trivia. We're going to get you guys sent out into the week. Now, there's been less and less comments, people commenting. Occasionally, you guys will get in there. Get these answers in because I give you credit. One day we're going to have somebody online win. We've had somebody online tie,
Yeah.
but not outright win.
And Mike will take you to lunch.
I will take you to lunch. Troy owes me 17 lunches.
On
Troy's
Troy's
credit card. Who won last week? Amanda?
Amanda won.
Amanda won last week.
Girl power.
Yeah.
Girl
on
power.
International Women's Day Eve.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, Blake.
We threw it. We threw it.
Yeah. That's cool. I'm fine with
That's
that.
cool.
I don't know if you guys,
Victory's a victory.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but Google had an AI app that they released, Gemini, right? So it didn't go well. They seem to have gotten the images of certain famous people incorrect.
Okay.
And so how much money did that cost Google when their stock price tumbled? How much money because of the botched Gemini launch?
Who's going first?
Amanda's got first.
Man, I'm going to say Oh, it was a lot of money. I'm going to say $1 billion.
I'm going to say $900 million.
100. Hold on. $1 billion, $1.
So proving
Jerk
that
face.
he's very good at this game. The actual answer was $90 billion
Oh, I was going to say.
in stock value.
I was like, no way.
That's like
Not-
17 countries in Europe.
That's a lot of countries.
Which is why there's an argument that Google has more power than any dictator or world leader has ever had.
90 billion in stock value was lost because of the Gemini failure.
And they're not at zero.
Holy snikes. No,
No.
my
They didn't even
Google's
hiccup.
still working. I
They
used
didn't
it
even
this
hiccup.
morning.
Did not even hiccup.
Man, I was going to go big. I was going to go 100 billion, but I was like, no.
Wow.
All right. Story of the week for surfers. There's this guy that goes all over the country surfing waves.
Mike Davis.
He surfs rivers, he surfs lakes, he surfs all these oceans.
Surfs in Utah.
Mike Davis.
He went to Minnesota
Minnesota.
last week, scored 10-foot barrels on a Minnesota lake. How cold was the water? Now he had a 5 mil wetsuit on, and then he put a 2 mil wetsuit over that. So he was wearing 2 wetsuits.
Mm-hmm.
What was the water temperature Fahrenheit?
I'm going to say it was 39 degrees Fahrenheit.
I'm going to say 35 degrees.
I was going to say 38.
I'm giving you water temp. Give me air temp. Go back and do
Oh,
air
the
temp.
air
I'm
temp.
sorry.
Oh,
Give me air temp.
okay.
I'm
That's
sorry.
a big difference. Because
Yeah.
water temp, it has to be over 32.
I know. Give me air temp. Give me air temp. Sorry.
Okay, the air
Okay.
temp. I'm going to say it was negative 15.
Negative 15.
I'm going to say -8.
Negative 8. Doggone. I'll say negative 16.
-6.
Oh, doggone.
Blake's on the
Negative
board
6.
again.
Come
You
on.
could have went the other way.
-6.
You could have trapped him.
Listen, RJ gets a point because RJ was at -5.
Okay.
So RJ was right there. And
You're on
RJ,
the
again,
board.
congratulations for
You're 3K.
Your 3K. That's awesome. That's
Absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah, there's a great video of this, RJ. If you look this guy up, Ben Gravy. Ben Gravy goes to Gate Links to Score.
I
If you
saw
watch
Gravy.
Ben Gravy's video,
Well, he was
it's
warm.
really, really good.
Nothing makes you warmer than good gravy.
Man, there were some good waves. Okay. Blake Blevins, what percentage of U.S. parents are financially supporting their adult children?
This could be my favorite question.
I know, of all time.
I know 100% in my house.
You know you have to for one. The other one.
You get 2 for 1.
Ooh. I'm going to say.
Does it give an age to the
Yeah, no,
adult
hold on.
children, or is it just...
It just says adult
Financially
children.
supporting.
But it's usually 2 parents, so I'm going to say 50%.
All right. He goes 50%. I think it's higher than that. I think it's 65%.
I'm going to go 49.
You can't win when he hits it.
50%.
50%, nearly 50% of it. I may have to give both of you a point because it might be like 49 and some change.
49.5, please.
It might be something like that.
51%. 51%.
Yeah, it was 49%, 50%. So it says nearly 50. I'll give both of you a point because it's.
I feel like it was 48.
It
And he's
says,
already got 2 points. I
it
don't want to
says
pull it away.
nearly 50% of parents.
Okay, give him a point.
There?
No, there's no. It says support. Reported 61% said they were worried that they would never be able to own a home.
Oh, okay.
That might be the
kids.
parents.
The
Those
kids.
are the kids.
Those are the-
61%.
Look
Or
at
the
me.
parents are worried the kids will never own a home.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me.
You'll own a home. You will own a home.
Parents providing support. 21% were helping millennials or members of Gen X. Millennials and Gen X adult children were on the average given between $907 and $960 each month by their parents.
Wow.
Gen Z adults between 18 and 27 were getting more help from their mothers and fathers, averaging $1,515 per month.
Gen Z is getting more help?
Gen Z is getting more help. 18 to 27. The Gen Xers are aged. I'm sorry, millennials are 28 to 43. Gen X's are 44 to 59. Hell, that's my
I mean,
age.
how are they doing that math? Is it like if they shared a percentage of the mortgage, or I mean, I'm not sure how that math
A lot
would
of
work.
it was car insurance, phone bills, stuff like that. So that was a lot of how they were helping.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that,
Like you're under that number.
yes.
Yeah, you're not getting that much help from me, so you should feel good about that.
He feels great about that.
Well. What's the big thing that I don't pay for right now?
Mortgage,
Rent,
power,
Yeah.
water, food.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Okay.
if you actually
If you want me to keep
itemize
going,
that.
Love you,
medical,
Dad. Love you, Dad.
insurance.
I love you,
right.
Dad.
So somebody did a study on electric vehicle batteries.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
Okay. So there's 2 questions in this. So
Amanda, you're up.
it takes how many years of an electric battery to offset the CO2 produced by making the battery? So how many years does the electric battery have to be in play and working to get to 0 due to the amount of CO2 given off to produce the electric battery?
I'm gonna say 12.
All right, they last about 5 to 7. So I'm gonna still say it's. I'm gonna say it's less than 12. I'm gonna go 11.
I'm going to say 50 years.
45 years is the answer.
And they only last 5 or 7 years.
No,
Yeah.
they supposedly the average is between 12 and 14 years on a battery. Okay. Here's
At full charge, like at full capacity.
Full
no.
charge constantly?
They're dying.
So Troy Blevins, how many tons of earth have to be mined to produce enough lithium and cadmium and all this crap that goes into the battery? How many tons?
One battery.
For one battery. This is
Tons?
tons. This is what drives that 45 years. How many tons
I'm
to
gonna
make one car battery?
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say 1,500 tons. No, that's not enough. I'm gonna say 10,000 tons.
10,000.
10,000 tons.
10,000 tons? For one battery? Jeez. I'm going to say 17,000 tons.
17,000.
Dude. If you're asking, I'll say 17,001.
16,999.
Oh, come on, he's on fire.
No. The answer is 250 tons.
Okay.
250
Okay.
tons.
Oh, okay.
250 tons is what it takes.
That's way less than.
So the
any of
lowest
us were
guy
guessing.
got the
I
answer.
got that one with the
No,
lowest.
that was him. That was
That was
him.
me.
That's Troy.
That was me.
Yeah.
I had 10,000.
Don't be out of me. Don't.
Okay.
I mean, but thank you for
He
the
wants to
other
win
point.
fair and square.
I'm trying to help you out.
He already gave you the 50 wins.
Okay.
Blake.
Blake.
Oh boy.
Blake, what is the median down payment for a house?
You always ask him these questions.
I know. I'm trying to get him out of the house for Troy.
10,000 likes.
Troy feeds me all of these questions. Mike, ask this.
Median down payment.
What is
for a
the
house?
median down payment for a house in each U.S. state? So, let's do this. What do you think, which state has the highest median down payment? Blake Blevins.
California.
Amanda?
It's probably either California or New York. I'll say California.
I think it's Hawaii.
Florida.
Florida.
Florida. You see what your problem is now?
So
the
angry.
median down payment, $98,670 is Florida and Hawaii.
98,000.
Well, that's down payment.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's the retirees selling their house and not wanting a
Oh,
big
that's average.
mortgage.
Like, but I mean, that's not what you need for like most.
It's not what you need. It's what is paid.
Most FHA loans are 3%, and we're
Yeah.
at about 500,000, and so you're looking at like. You
But
know,
I'm taking.
15.
I'm figuring it's the people that are coming down here to retire, and so they don't
That's
want a
what they
big
actually
mortgage.
put down, not what they
So,
have to
yes,
put down.
it's what
Okay.
they're actually putting down, not the requirement.
I was thinking. I was thinking the lowest average of that. So
Top 5, 1 to 5. Florida, Hawaii, Washington, D.C., Washington State.
So do I get the point because I had Hawaii? It was the highest ranked one.
No.
Oh man,
Who got that point?
No one did.
No, and I had the
No,
highest.
no,
I had the highest ranked
no.
state.
He had the highest rank, but then no one got the
All
number
right,
one.
Here we go. What's the lowest ranked state?
It's the
What
lowest.
state can you go to and pay the lowest down
or
payment?
Yeah,
that
the
people
lowest
are
average.
paying?
Lowest
lowest
average.
average.
What's the lowest
Amanda.
average? Yep.
I'm gonna say West Virginia.
Mississippi.
I'm going to say Nebraska.
Nebraska's up there. West Virginia is number 49 out of 51.
Oh, come on.
Mississippi is number 51 out of 51.
So it's the lowest.
It's the lowest.
Okay.
Yes.
So close.
Yes.
I keep so close.
You're gonna get on. You're gonna get a
I'm
correct
just
answer before
short
we
of
get done.
greatness.
I know. You're gonna just before it's over.
I've had the most
It's not
near
International
misses.
Women's Day anymore, lady.
I know. It's not.
All right.
Patriarchy.
Troy's
It's
up.
back.
Troy's up first.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she
Okay.
went first. I said Mississippi.
Okay. Amun Haji, dubbed the world's dirtiest man, was an Iranian man known for not bathing for how many years? How many years did he go without taking a bath? Troy Blevins.
I'm going to say he probably hadn't had one since he was like 10 years old, lived to 95. I'm going 85 years.
85 years.
Blake.
I'm going to say 60 years.
60 years. I'm going 86 years.
The man either has rated my questions this week or he's just
60.
good.
Or
60.
Or the other option, this story was on the Storydom.
Was it on the story?
It was.
Oh. You got part of it close.
He got the clip.
He was 94 years old.
Okay.
He was 94 years. This is the sad part. He died a few months after bathing for the first time in 6 decades.
Nuh-uh.
Yes. Here's a picture of him. I had it on my
Immunities.
desk.
Pig farm.
My son thought that I was showing a picture of somebody who had survived a mine collapse.
It does look like someone that survived a
Like he
mine
walked
Yeah.
out of a coal mine. I mean, he's just
Yeah.
completely covered in dust.
Pig farm immunity.
Pig pen. Pig pen is like,
He is the living embodiment of Pigpen.
he's a living embodiment of pig pen.
Wow.
Yes.
That's wild.
So
Yeah.
right now, Blake 5, Troy 3, Amanda
I'm a big old goose egg.
fat goose egg. All right, so Scott Adams quoted a story this week.
Blake first.
It's
Yeah, Blake's first.
crimes mentioned in newspapers. Okay, so how often do they mention, what percentage, if the perpetrator is a white person, how often do they mention that he's white? What percentage of the time? Committing a heinous crime.
Like they don't
So
always mention the race.
they don't always
but if
mention
he-
the race. They
but if
sometimes
do-
don't even mention the name, but sometimes they mention the name and the race. So how often, when they mention heinous crimes, do they mention that a white person has committed a heinous crime? What percentage?
Why are we getting crime statistics from the creator of Dilbert?
Because he does a lot of really good stuff. You should listen. He's a very
Really?
intuitive.
Good
he's very
podcast.
intuitive. He's got a great podcast.
Good
All right.
podcast.
Yeah,
All right.
really good podcast.
Not as good as this one, but it's
Not
good. It's
nowhere
good.
near as good as
Keep,
this one.
you keep looking at the paper. What you looking at, bud?
What?
What you looking at? I keep
Yeah,
watching
he's
your
got good
eyes.
eyes. He's got good eyes. Be careful over
I
there.
know.
25%.
Did you see that on the paper?
Say it. Just say it. Just say it.
I think that they mentioned the race, if it's a white guy, 98% of the time.
I'm going to split the difference there a little bit. I'm going to lean more towards her side. I'm going to go 80.
Either he can see the paper.
Okay.
Right.
It was 25.
It was
looking.
25. Did
He
you
was
look and
looking.
see the number?
He was so
He saw
looking.
it.
Just say
saw
I own it.
He
Just
was-
say it.
Yes.
Okay.
He saw it.
All right. So, what percentage, Amanda, of black people are mentioned that is an African American that has committed the heinous crime?
Okay, white guys are mentioned
25%
25% of the time. Black guys, I'll
Black
say
people.
Black people.
Black criminals.
I was saying guys as humans.
Yeah. Perps.
I'll say 17% of the time.
I'm hoping it's about the same, but I'll go the other direction. I'll go 30.
75%.
6% of the time.
I'm on the board.
6% of the time.
Power.
Now, rounding out Hispanics when they commit a heinous crime, how often is their race mentioned in the story?
That depends. Do they describe him the way George Zimmerman was described?
Ocho cinco. No.
Ocho Cinco.
Spanish.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's probably 15, somewhere between the two.
3%.
3%. So we've got 15 and we've got 3. I'll say 12.
3%. 3%.
He's got really good
crushing it.
eyesight.
He's crushing.
He's got real good eyesight.
This time I actually didn't look at the paper.
But you looked at it already, and you already said that
I
you
already
don't
saw
forget
it was
anything.
25%.
You already said you don't forget anything.
Yeah, he does.
All right. Rob Reiner has a new Christian bashing documentary out, God and Country.
What a meathead.
He's a meathead.
Hey, Spinal Tap was good.
It's perfect casting.
So it's been out for a couple of weeks now.
I just wanted, Blake, did you get the joke? Calling him a meathead?
He played Meathead, was his nickname by Archie Bunker
Yeah,
on All in the Family.
Yeah.
He's a meathead.
The joke was wasted on the young. So,
I got it.
yeah.
I'm not
So
young anymore.
the film was
You're
released.
not. If you got that joke, you're not.
Say
out.
more sports references.
If you got that joke, it's time to schedule a colonoscopy and use eye cream.
Yeah. The film was released in just 85
Lots of it.
theaters. So who's up?
Ben.
Troy? How much
is it?
revenue? How much income did the film generate?
I think I went first on the Spanish.
Yeah, you did.
You
So
did.
it's,
Yes,
it's
that's
me.
How much revenue did it generate?
$12,000.
$12,000.
He's
He's
a meathead.
probably right. I'll say 12,001.
Just throwing me a softball.
Yeah.
12,002.
Yes. Finally, Troy Blevins gets an easy one. $60,464. So someone did the math, right?
What was the budget on it?
Basically, that's fewer than 7,000 tickets sold in a country of 350 million people. So you make one decent movie in 1987, right? And you can still make bombs all the way into now.
Yeah.
Still make bombs.
Meathead.
Meathead.
Good gosh.
President Joe Biden has announced a plan, and this is
Brilliant. I support
to
it 100%.
cap all credit card late fees at this dollar amount.
$8.
What?
All credit card late fees at $8. So there's a late fee you pay, not the interest, but the late fee.
Well, $8 is what I said. So
And
what's your
so-
guess?
What is the fee that he has capped it at?
$20.
$8.
Oh, you son of a! You watched it too. He said it in the State of the
$8.
Union. He technically isn't capping it at a dollar amount. Technically, he's capping it at the cost it takes the credit card company to collect on the debt.
To process
And
it.
so he's estimating it's $8, which is a heck of a lot less than $33.
All right.
Dude, Ticketmaster fees are bad as well. You used
It's a
to.
contract. These people borrowed the money. They got to pay it back.
So Blake's up first now again?
Okay.
Well,
We're
my
ba-
question
we're
is
back
like,
in the banking stuff
why does
again.
he have any authority to cap credit card
doesn't.
late fees?
Well, I mean, we bailed out the banks. So,
Yeah.
yeah. W did.
Who's up?
I believe you did $8.
I did $8.
I'm
Yeah,
up.
so it's you.
Okay.
I'm up.
So this person has quietly returned to Spotify after swearing off Spotify a few years ago because of Joe Rogan.
Oh, what the heck is that dude's name?
That's what I was saying too until I read the article, and it took me a minute to remember who it was.
Garth Brooks.
Nope.
Still on Amazon. I just think I never thought he was on Spotify ever. Like I didn't think he has an exclusive contract with Amazon to only be on Amazon streaming. So, Neil Young.
Oh, I think it is Neil Young.
Neil Young has quietly returned to Spotify after
with his
swearing
tail
off
between his
Spotify.
legs.
Still alive?
And still making
yes.
very wise decisions.
Alabama
Yes.
don't need him anyhow.
No, Alabama does not need him anyhow. Okay, last question. Who's up first? Blake?
Like,
Yes.
Okay, Blake. Home buyers need what percentage more of income to buy a house now than they did 4 years ago? So
What? So
how much has it increased? If you needed X amount of dollars, you now need X plus what percentage to buy a home than you did 4 years ago?
well, no one's gonna win anyway. It's just gonna be me. So
It's going to be you, and I'm not showing you the paper this time like I have the rest
all
of
right,
the time.
69%.
Oh, dang, that was going to be my answer because I'm losing. 69%. Troy, it's your point.
I'll go 68 and I owe you one.
80% more money.
You lost it.
80% more money.
I still
That
finished
was
second.
your point.
With a
That's
resounding
because you're a
9
giver.
correct
Yeah, we
answers, Troy had 4. Amanda battled back to get to 3.
No, hold on. Amanda had 69% as well, so she gets a
did.
point as well.
No, that
Yeah.
wasn't-
Oh, that's right.
Dude, there's
You-
a bias here. There is a pro
You
Blake
are-
bias
You
here.
are 100% tight end.
Even with the
RJ.
cheating.
I know, even.
RJ won by getting 1. RJ, we're very happy with you. Bollocks is on tonight.
Yeah, we're talking about history in golf. We're talking about great victories in golf and great losses.
Tell me you're quoting the Robin Williams, how
Oh.
Scott's invented golf.
Oh, that's such a great.
No. We're going to put the whole miles away.
You can't even see it. A crooked stick.
And we're going to do that one time.
No!
18 effing times.
Yes.
In fact, when you miss,
Well-
it feels like you're having a stroke.
Yes.
You know they say that there's 18 holes in golf because there's 18 shots in a bottle.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That means I played it right when my husband let me come with him to play golf,
Yes.
but then he never asked
If
me
you
to come
did
back.
18 shots and you left, ooh,
I drank an entire bottle of wine.
oh, wine. Okay, wine, okay. That's still a lot, but okay.
It's a lot.
Bobby wants to know if golf
It was-
movies will be mentioned.
We'll probably mention some golf movies.
Okay.
So,
Happy Gilmore would definitely be mentioned at some
yeah.
point.
And Caddyshack, obviously.
The price is what?
Yeah. Wrong.
Wrong, Bob.
So you guys are on tonight. 9:04 is tomorrow morning. Is Pete back? Did Pete come back from a
Pete's
sabbatical?
back.
Pete is back.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's been back.
He was wearing his hoodie today.
Oh, well, Pete is back.
His Florida man hoodie.
Did he
Nice.
have slides or shoes on?
He had 2 different color socks on, so it slides.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure he hasn't gone too big time on this.
Yeah.
The socks are bad enough. Well, he always wore socks with slides.
Yeah.
Who's the socks and
question,
slides
question of the day today was which music lyric did you find out later you were completely singing it wrong? Like you thought it was one thing and then you find out later it's one. And mine was it's supposed to be, and I had to look it up to make sure it was right because me and my sister argued about it when I was like in high school. And, I bless the rain down in Africa.
Yeah.
I thought it was, for years, I thought it was I miss the rains down in Africa.
Because that makes way more sense.
It completely makes more sense. And I still would have got it wrong if I hadn't looked it up before this morning because, I knew my sister and I argued over it and I still thought I was right.
Memory question for you. What guest came on and said that was their favorite 80s song on our radio show?
On.
Africa, Toto.
I can't remember.
Great guy, Jeff Atwater.
Atwater. Oh,
Jeff
yeah.
Atwater
yeah.
came on
Yeah.
and was on the show
He was
one time.
our attorney general or something?
No, he was our financial officer.
Okay.
Chief financial
CFO.
officer.
Yeah,
CFO.
CFO.
Really nice guy.
Good guy.
Super
Good guy.
nice guy.
Oh, that's
Yes.
right. I remember him. That's
Yeah.
old studio. That's old
studio.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Trivia question I asked Mike at lunch. No one got it at
Amanda's got this. I got $5 as Amanda's got
have
this.
you already asked her?
Nope.
No.
But I got $5 as she gets this right.
All right.
so stressed.
Yeah. Methuselah and Noah are descendants of which one of Adam and Eve's children? Methuselah was Noah's grandfather. So which one of Adam and Eve's children were they descendants of?
I mean, it's got to be Cain.
Mm.
No, it's Abel?
No, Abel didn't have any children.
No, that's why I was thinking Cain.
Seth.
Seth. Oh,
Seth
Seth.
was.
Shimp. He's the shimp of the kids.
But all the good side came from Seth.
Well, because they killed the best one, so then you get Seth by default.
Yeah,
No one remembers him.
Abel didn't have any children. So.
Yeah, was Seth the middle child? That would make
No,
sense.
Seth came as the third child. He wasn't born until Adam was 130 years old. Yeah. So I don't feel bad about
You got a shot.
being 4.
You're going to have, when you're his age, you'll have a baby. Rebecca, be careful. Because I think Rebecca, wasn't that Abraham? Was Abraham's? Sarah was Abraham's
Sarah.
wife. Sarah, yeah. Rebecca was another wife in the Bible.
Yeah. So.
I had you on the Bible.
No, hey, don't feel bad. No one got it right at trivia.
I'm
It's
sending
all
you
right.
back to Sunday school.
Okay. I'll
Back to
restart the
Sunday
Bible
school.
app.
And Russell Crowe did a great job during that movie, Noah.
That's a terrible
okay.
movie.
You didn't like it?
Oh, no.
Is that,
Because I've actually read
is that
the Bible.
because there were mosquitoes?
I read the fictional book too.
Is that because there were
Skip, yeah.
mosquitoes in it, Troy? Is that why you liked it?
Yeah, that's how I know they got here.
Yeah.
The locusts.
All right, you guys, I think there's a guest outside that you got to go pick up. Lenny's probably here. Tune in to Bollock's tonight, tomorrow morning to 9:04 now. I'll see you guys in a week. Amanda and Davey have it all next week.
Yay.
Enjoy the weekend.
Bye.